And we are live. We'll go over some stocks today, go over some chart levels, go from there. Let's check this out. Start that goal. All right, cool. All right, so let's go over some levels. Let's get started. All right, so let's just go over the channel real quick. For those of you new to the channel, this is Trading Simplified. On the weekends, I like to go over just the pre-market levels. Let's just review, prepare for the week, look at different stocks. We'll go over subscribers mode can chat, and then halfway through, we'll switch over to members only for the stocks that you want individually reviewed. Just want to show you the channel for a second. Thank you guys, members, joining the channel. It's pretty cool. They created this tab that shows the members that have now joined and supporting the channel. So I appreciate you guys. You guys get access to these members only videos. And sometimes I post videos that go to members first and then go to the public. Definitely be sure to check out the links here. We have the WAP, which we'll get into in a second. If you want to become a member, just click on this tab right here for YouTube. And also check me out on Twitter, where you can just support me on this as well. Also, the WAP is where you can directly chat with me about stocks, chart levels, and trades. We have a direct chat feature where I get to message everybody, let them know where we are, and then we are able to review the YouTube portfolio that I show. It's up to date as I make the buys. I have the portfolio guidelines for this just to help you out with your investing. If you're looking to learn, we have beginners courses, stocks, watch list. And I think what's the biggest feature is the direct chat. The direct chat is where we have the community chat where you're able to talk to each other. So without further ado, check that out. Go through the playlist if you're looking through free material. I do my live pre-market analysis. Normally I do it on Wednesdays, and I also like to review on Saturday and Sunday as well. And also we have the members only playlist. For those of you that become members of the YouTube channel, you have a playlist dedicated just to you. And then we also have the membership posts as well. So definitely look out for the posts as well. Alrighty, so check out the playlist for the free content. Members, check out the membership tab for you and go over the Fidelity, Vanguard investments, investing for beginners, and all that. All right, so let's get into stocks. That long introduction there. Let's go over some stuff here. All right, so let's review. All right, so let's start over with just the QQQ. Let's start over with QQQ SPY. Try to have a little more order when we do this. I think that would be definitely worth it. So let's go over just the 5-year chart really quick. Looking at QQQ, we can see that basically right here, we've been trending up in this channel, and this is the first time that we are finally retesting this support level at 466, which we have here, and there has been some consolidation in this mode now. So you had a massive sell-off, 540. We had this pullback here all the way from 540 down here. That's a 13-14% pullback, and it was very drastic. It was all within, since February 19th pretty much. February 21st. I mean, it's only been 1 month and we pulled back, but now we have this consolidation phase and we are looking for a move back up. So definitely be careful. And then I'm just going to message Joshua. Can you, I know you probably hear me, but can you chat on this? Is it not letting you chat? Just want to make sure. Is it letting you chat? Just want to send him a message just to make sure. Chat disconnected. Please wait. I don't know why the chat's not working. Weird. I heard go to live chat. There we go. Now I see you, I think. Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. So QQQ, I just want to make sure the chat's working. I want to make sure you guys can contribute, be able to communicate if you need to. So here, let's just go over QQQ. We had that 14% pullback. This is where we're looking at, all right? So now we're just waiting for this breakout. It has to make a decision. When you're trading, you need to make sure that you are actually waiting for the trend to pull out. Right now, we are consolidating, and we need to wait until QQQ, the tech stocks, get above 485 as a whole and make a move up, or we need to wait and see, are we going to reject, all right? Anybody that tells you exactly what the trade's going to be is lying to you. Nobody knows where it's going to go. You got to wait for the trend to prove itself and then make the trade. So if we get above 485, when we start going into the Magnificent Seven stocks, you will see that we're going to have some momentum build on that. So let's wait for that. It's in a consolidation phase as well. I want to review just the big SPY, QQQ, SMH, just go over that first. Let's do the foundation first, and then we'll get into it. So looking at this on the 6-month chart, you can see that we have sold off as well. QQQ and SPY, they obviously trade similar together. QQQ sold off that 14%. This pulled back 10%. QQQ, your tech stocks are always going to be more volatile. So you will get a larger pullback and larger gains when the market has bull and bear runs. Looking at here though, we are starting to establish some support at this level right here around $560 per share, around 560. We have to just consolidate, wait, are we going to break above 570? It's another one of those zones where we just have to wait and be patient. Looking at SMH, the semiconductor ETF, this is good to look at. I think you really need to just be cautious here. And we are looking for this move as well. Just looking back, look at SMH, has done nothing but sell off from about January 27th all the way down to $210 a share, 21% pullback for the semiconductors. Now it's pulled back about 18 to 16%. And what we're looking for is a pullback to this range around 420 if we're going to get more downside and then boost back up, or are we going to retest the 233? You got to mark this level out. You got to mark the 233 level. It doesn't look the best. It needs to move up here and then either reject or break above this. Now, there's really only a few stocks in the SMH that are going to push this higher, and one of them is NVIDIA. That's the next stock we're going to go over. But watch SMH. If you were going to trade these semiconductor stocks, you have to be careful. You had these touches of support at 235, 235, 235, 235, another one at 235. So you can see that there's multiple touch points. That's how when you draw your charting, you need to make sure that the longer term picture is lining up. Now you have to wait and let the market tell you what it wants to do. Let the trade come to you. Be patient. Wait for your entries. If you're going to short up here, I'd be looking for 233 to 235 for a move back down. You can easily follow a stop above 235. If it pulls back, you're looking at this 220 level. So now, let's start moving over into some of the semiconductor stocks. Let's start hitting NVIDIA. And what I want to show you is look at NVIDIA and look at SMH. They look literally the exact same. I'm cycling through. SMH is right here. This is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to decide where SMH is going to go. If NVIDIA has strength, it is going to push up. And that's pretty much what it means. I mean, like, look right here. We can see we got the pullback down to about 114. Let's get a little bit closer on this analysis here. On the 1 month we have there, on the 5-day, this is really what we're looking at here. We are in this consolidation phase between 114 and 123. So NVIDIA needs to make up its mind what it's going to do. Right now, this doesn't look good. So, I mean, that's the big thing, you know? We have to definitely be cautious here. Wait for the movements, wait for the pullbacks. You are either just monitoring. I don't really like NVIDIA right now as a trade. It is just not doing anything. It's sitting here. It's either going to consolidate at 114 and then reject, or we're going to get that move back up. So right now, when you're in periods like this, you really want to, you know, just let the trade play out, let it come to you. Is it going to run up to 123, 124 again and then reject? That's what we're looking for. So same thing with all of these semiconductors are basically trading within that range. So you just need to be cautious. All right. So NVIDIA, same thing. You really can't draw it out with a long-term chart and take a look at where it's going. It's not very clear. You just have this range that we are trading within right now. So be cautious with that. AVGO is still forming this major just bear flag just going right here. We're going to see, are we going to break out of this finally? Are we going to get to the $200 support level? You can see that right here is the resistance at $200 per share. It's kind of obvious right here. We'll just put that right there. You have a touch here, and now we are trading here. So we just need to wait and see, is the market going to continue being soft and start selling off, or are we going to finally get above? AVGO needs to get above that level. It's got to get above $200 per share and then push back up. That's what we're looking for. All right. But if it doesn't, it's bearish in the near term. I don't think Nvidia is a good price. I'm waiting for a sell-off. Just to go back to Joshua Young, looking at Nvidia. Nvidia, honestly, if I'm going to look to actually get in this longer term, I need it under 108. 108 is what I'm looking for. The reason is because right here you can see is our support line. And we had touches here around 105 to 103. I'd be okay dollar cost averaging. And then just like the WAP that we have, Jay Young and I, we always talk about which stocks we're going to go into. It's going to be like the pyramid method, where we're going to look, if we're going to buy $1,000 worth, maybe like 20% around 110. And if it keeps moving lower, throw in the other 20%. And then around 100, throw in 30%. And then pyramid into the position to be safer. So that's how I would do it, especially if you're doing long-term. AVGO, we're watching this $200 level, looking for that rejection. Next, let's go over MU. MU is a nasty stock because it can look promising one day where you were buying 85, and this is only a week ago, and it blasted all the way up to 109, and then it just sells off to 94. But it shouldn't be as surprising to you, because when I show you the chart long-term, you will start to see that the patterns tend to repeat themselves. So if you look here, you've had rejection points all up in this point right here. You can see in this range from MU 110 to 111, it has been pulling back. Wait for direction of trading. All right, so if you're looking at that, you can see that this has just been trend trading from 85 to 110. But look at that nasty rejection. I mean, this shows you it has these pullbacks here where it's pulling all the way back, and it's not very forgiving. The same exact thing happened. Unless the semiconductors start coming around, I think we're going to continue seeing further downside here. Now that we have broken through this 96 support level, which that was the level that I was calling out potentially as a buy, I think what you can do to look for is look for this move here. We get that move back up to 97. If it starts consolidating, watch it, and then look for the move back down. I do believe there is weakness in the market, and I think we just need to be cautious. And if you're going long, you really got to trade the ranges. I think that would be better. Trade the ranges, go from there. And I think MU, you could wait for that $97, $96 mark. Look for that repop up to this, because now this support level is broken. It would support here. Resistance here. And then resistance here, and then boom, here's your next level of resistance, and then sell back down. That's how I look for it with that. Let's go over Tesla real quick. Tesla is a stock that I've definitely been watching. Tesla, the 250 level. Quick review for those of you that have not been watching Tesla. We went from 288.54 all the way down to here. It's a 50% pullback to 220s. Tesla's a stock that if you follow my YouTube channel or you're a member, you will see that I own Tesla. I have been scooping up some shares around here. And if you want access to that, just become a YouTube member and you'll be able to check that out. But here, you'll see here, it's at 250. It has to break above this. It's consolidating in this range, basically from 220 all the way up to 250. We need to see Tesla break out of this level and then make a move forward. If it can do that in the short term, if it can consolidate above and hold this level right here at 250, I think we can easily get a move to 275. That's what I'm looking for with this. I am holding Tesla long term, but if I was short term trading it, I'm pretty much a short position on anything under 250 and lower. But then I'm not going to be foolish. If it can hold 250, it's going to blast back up. But you definitely have some downside potential here at 250. Looking for that move back down. It's 8 to 10% ROI right there. So definitely be cautious when you're looking at Tesla right now. You kind of have to Tesla can move but you have to be realistic about where it's at. I mean, let's just look at the 1 year. The 1 year is at a 39 RSI right now, so we like that in terms of oversold, especially on a longer term chart. But look at the short term trend. The RSI is very high. Even just on a 1 month chart, you can see that the RSI over here is 72 right now, which indicates overbought. So definitely just be cautious looking at that. I want to go over NBIS. This is a stock that I want to hold in my YouTube portfolio. I'm definitely looking for that. But the thing is, I need to see them pull back more. I'm waiting for this $18 range. I want to see some further downside. And when you look at NBIS, you can't be a fool. I mean, this thing went from $87 all the way down to $14, which is ridiculous. And then now it has to hold this $24 level. It's been holding this level. It's been pulling back and it keeps retesting it. But what I see, which makes me nervous, is I am seeing lower highs. And when I see lower highs with this trend, I'm not going to just buy shares and dollar cost average in. To me, it's too risky. And besides just drawing these lower highs, just look at this. Let me show you this real quick. You have this forming as well. It's not breaking this. So until it can break out of this pattern, it has to prove that it can. I mean, this is just clear as day right now what you're getting. It's just not getting across. It's got to break. So next, let's move over. We did Broadcom, we did them. Microsoft, let's go over another big cap, Mag 7 Beast. This is one of my favorite stocks. I always think that this is definitely worth checking out. Looking at this guy, I do believe that Microsoft dollar cost average long term, I think you're fine. If you're looking to trade levels, I would definitely just be cautious. You have to get above this 390 level, which we are temporarily. It did have a nice blast up, but sometimes when you have these nice blast ups, 385 to 391, you may get that pullback. So definitely just be cautious, all right? Let's, if you're gonna trade this, you have to hold this 390 level. But in conjunction, you need to hold and watch QQQ and see, are we going to hold this 485 level? So when you're trading, it's good to have QQQ up and one of your big caps, let's say Microsoft, that you're trying to trade, and I would be cautious and watch for that. So I would definitely be looking for that aspect when you're trading it. Is QQQ holding 385 and is Microsoft holding this 390 level? If you can, and you can hold 390, then I think we can get a move back to about 400. But you gotta consolidate, hold this level. You're gonna need a green market. You need a green day just to boost away from there. That's what I'd be looking at. Let's go over Apple. Apple is showing promise too. Apple pulled back from 250, which made sense. I mean, if you looked at Apple, I think you would agree it was overbought. I mean, let's be honest here. This company has not really been doing anything to actually, like they're not, the products, everything's pretty much the same. They're very safe company at this point. So they're trading within this trend line here. Now I think what you're looking for is what I'm looking for. I'm going to buy some shares in them long term because I like Apple. I use all their products. If I'm going to buy them long term, I want an area right here around just under 200, around this zone, and I want to see that pullback. So I want to see a further pullback to about 200, 195 level, and then look for that bounce, because that would go with the longer term trend since 2020 where it's been bouncing like that. That's what I'm looking for. I have this zone marked out. We're just going to wait for it at this point. And now let's see here. So right there, I'll look for that. And then 220 range, if you're doing the short term, you got to look for this move up here. We are looking for that hold of 220. This all coincides with QQQ. We need that green day market in the NASDAQ to hold that level at 385. And then boom, here we go. 220 is consolidating, and then we get that push up forward. That's what I'm looking for. I think the more obvious play, though, is markets open, markets get weak. We shoot up to 220. And then we reject back down to 210. That's really what I'm looking at. But you have to be cautious when looking at these levels. You have to right now the market's been very shaky, and this is a type market where moves don't extend, they don't continue. So you might get a bullish move like MU did, where you get that push up, but then it just immediately rejects. and just completely fails. So you have to be cautious of that. Celsius stock. This stock is starting to move forward. It's moving up. It's always after you sell, it starts to move up, it seems like. Sold these guys basically for break even. Just was tired of waiting. And hitting that 21 low just really surprised me. 21 up to 36. I was like, okay, this is getting very volatile. This definitely isn't the best stock to be trading here. And then now it's starting to show. So I'll be looking, if you're going to short this thing, look for 35, 36. Look for the pullback going there. We did that. SPLG, I'll do this just for Jay Young because he holds SPLG. He's part of our WAP. This is his ETF, S&P 500. He's a big fan of it. And looking at this here, if you look here, you have multiple touches around here following this nice trend line. I think what you need to focus on is there is a potential that we could get this pullback. If the market continues to go weak, it's not too out of reach. I mean, $66 down to 61 is another 7% decline. We need something to go wrong in the market, maybe more tariff news, whatever it is. I think a realistic level where you can start thinking about dollar cost averaging in even more, which I think when it comes to S&P 500, I would just buy it. You can look for that 63 level, but then if worst case scenario, you're looking at $60. So I definitely would be cautious on that. Next, let's go over DGRO. DGRO is another dividend guy. Basically, not much pattern, consolidating. Looking at BJ stock, it is trying dearly to hold this $100 level. So far, it is doing that. It is consolidating at the 107, pulling back up here. We're going to see, is it forming, this slow sell-off and then blast up. Let's go over TSCO. The Tractor Supply. I mean, this company is for its dividends, right? I think Jay Young, he uses for your dividends. If you're looking to buy into this, I would follow the long-term trend. 2020, we had $12, then we had $35. I'd be looking for $50 flat psychological level to start making some trades on them if you're going to buy. Next, let's look over CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is another stock that is very volatile. It's amazing how much this company moves. And if you can get these swings, that would be just beautiful. So taking a look here, CrowdStrike, we can go right here, $300 per share. Looking for that move back. If you're looking for the short term here, you got to look for 350s. 350s would definitely be an area where I could see there being potential of a support level. And look, it held this level. This is a great example of we had support here, resistance here, and then look at this. It broke through, and right here, we drew this out a while ago, actually, because I have the drawing there, and then it retested it real quick at 350, and then popped back up 20 points. Now it's coming back down to test that 350. Interesting break and retest strategy right there. BBAI, this stock is just dead. I mean, look at this. This is pretty brutal at this point. So I'd definitely be cautious with this. This is like trading just a pumped stock that is just sold off. You're going to need some actual company news to bring this thing up. Get a pulse back into this bad boy. Next, let's look at Walmart. Walmart at $85. It keeps, it's making lower lows right now. When you look at it on a 5-year chart, it has finally broken its trend. Now it's trying to find its footing. I'm wondering if we were going to get this pushed back up to about $92. And that's not a bad ROI, to be honest. $86 up here, 7-8%. Look for that day trade. I definitely would be cautious looking for that. That wouldn't be bad. All right, and then you also have, let's go over SCHD. SCHD is something that we're definitely watching up in here. I like SCHD long term. I'm looking to buy shares, but I'm looking to buy around $26.50. I want to buy in this trend. I'm going to be very patient until then. I like the dividend, but it's not good enough for me to say, okay, let me just start buying now. All right, so SCHD looking for this $26 pullback. When I trade stocks like this, I want to make sure that they are actually, trading to their trend lines if I'm going to dollar cost average in on them. Bitcoin, let's take a look at them. We drew out this level. I have them in my Gemini crypto portfolio. And it's just incredible. I had shares around 19,000 and I sold around 50 to 55,000, and it's like amazing. Went up to 110,000. Who would have thought? But looking here, we're just looking for this move. Is it going to consolidate? Is it going to hold? It's at 85,000. And it's got to make a decision here. Right now, it's still not clear. I want to see if we're going to make a move lower. If it doesn't, we'll get a retest up to probably 90,000. Costco stock finding its footing. This is what Costco does. Costco is one of those stocks that just seems like it only goes up at this point. It's trading at this upwards trajectory right here, and it is finding support right here in this level at $887 per share. And what it did is, which was really nice, it is holding this level. So what you can do is, if you're going to trade this stock, you can look for that level at 800, 880, 885, and then look to basically wait for that pullback and then get in at 900. But you got to keep your stop loss below that 888, because if it breaks 880, you're going down. You're going down. So definitely be cautious with that. All right, it's got to hold $900 level. Intel, ever since they announced that CEO news where you got that nice pop all the way up, basically they announced the CEO around here like a week ago, went from 24 up to 26. Now it's starting to sell off. It pulled back all the way to 23.50, and now it's consolidating in this range. So there definitely is some investor support, I would say, of the CEO, which is nice. So there's definitely belief that he can turn it around. But he still has a long road ahead of him, and you got to be really cautious. I mean, at the end of the day, Intel is behind. They're behind on NVIDIA. They're behind on AMD. And there's a lot of work to do. For me, I wouldn't buy this stock right now. I would just be very cautious. I think if you're going to trade something like this, you need to wait for pullbacks. Get as deep of a pullback as you can. Set your alerts. Just be cautious. And don't try to overdo it. Wait for your setup to come to you. Wait till you get this big pullback like 24.30. Wait till you get pullbacks like 21.50, 21.60. See if it starts consolidating around here and then starts making higher highs, and then make that push. All right, so just be cautious. This stock can really pull back 2 to 2.5 points in a day. I've seen it so many times. So definitely just be cautious, all right? All right, Serve I'll check out in a little bit. I want to go over a few more stocks, then we'll switch over to members only. All right. We'll include Joshua in the members only. He pays for the WAP. He supports the channel. He's very active. We appreciate his help out. And then looking here, we have Google. Google is a stock. If you follow my YouTube portfolio, if you're a member of the channel, you will see that this is starting to become a big piece of my channel here, of my YouTube portfolio. It is growing. It is getting bigger, and this is definitely becoming a large allocation to it. But just looking at the 6-month chart, you can see that we have pulled back all the way down to 160. 160 seems to be the line in the sand, I've noticed, for this stock. And I just figured we were going to get a little more of a pullback, but I just couldn't stop. I keep buying at these levels right now. Maybe all these green bars is really just trading Simplified. That is really just holding this guy up right now at this point. But I'm going to continue to buy more. I'm actually hoping it's when you have a long-term perspective, you actually want pullbacks. So oh yeah, we'll take a look at Hood. So I'm looking at right here. I want this pullback at 155, and then I want to see that push back right here. That's what I'm looking for. It's got to get it back into this ascending, this upwards momentum channel right here. But at 155, I'm going to continue loading the boat. Let's see here. Let's check over Serve. Serve Robotics is another pump and dump. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. 1 year up to $24, down to $7. I'm going to be very surprised if this company stays in business. I'll be honest. I know Jay Young's not going to like that statement, but I just don't see how robots dropping off your food is really going to do it. Maybe I don't know as much about them, but I think Serve Robots is definitely in trouble. You had this big pullback from $23 all the way to $7. Just be cautious if you hold this stock. If it breaks $7, you are headed down. I mean, you're going to go down. I mean, look at this. I think we're going to see this. We're going to keep live streaming, obviously, every weekend, and there's going to be a time. I'm going to make this level right now of just a prediction. So let me just, what I like about Webull, what you can do is you can create a text box. Now, if I could just figure it out. I just want to put this text box in here and put J Young $3. Let me see if it'll allow me to do it. There we go. Notes. There we go. I'm going to put this here for him. Serve. $3 prediction. Jay Young. There we go. Look at that. So now, we're gonna put this here for. Let's see if I'm wrong. So every time we check it, this is my prediction. I know Jay Young. He likes this stock. I keep telling him I really think it's got more downside. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, but we'll see what happens here. And Jay Young's a part of the WAP, so it's all good. Anyways, was there selling pressure on hood stock Friday afternoon? It has been going at. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at hood. Oh wow, yeah, hood blasted off to the moon, huh? $38. Let's take a look, and you know what's really good about this? This is another. I just want to show you guys this, just like another thing. Like if you're new into trading, and you're trying to learn, here's just a little advice for you. Look at the previous resistance zones. You had it right here at $44. Boom, touched here, touched there, boom, touched there, touched there. Now if you're making trades on this, now the longs are getting interested because you had this support here. It was resistance to the left, but now at $43, it finally broke. See, it failed here at 43. It retested here, and then boom, blasted up. Let's see. Yeah, and we'll see. I hope I'm wrong, man. Serve to $3. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm wrong with that. Now you're saying, was there selling pressure on hood Friday afternoon? Let's see what we get. I'm gonna put this into Grok AI and see what we can get. See if I can find some news for you, my guy. Let's take a quick look. Was there selling pressure on that? Boom. Let's see what we can find here. Oh, let me just do this. I forgot if I have this screen maximized. There we go. So we have this here. So look here, right here. We got the trade simplified right here. It shows, the data shows the current price, $44. I asked it exactly what your question was. Was there selling pressure on hood Friday afternoon? And it's showing that. Additionally, the data, was there any news? Therefore, based on, this is not very good. Let's just see here. Hood stock was there. Because I honestly haven't traded hood stock, so let's see if we can find something. There's recent news in Robinhood relevant to its performance. So a new prediction markets hub within its app, allowing 25 million users to trade on event outcomes. From the expected Federal Reserve and the NCAA tournaments. Interesting. Hood is such an interesting stock because they really are versatile in certain areas. Yeah, so I guess that's the reason why they were doing it. Who knows? Weird. All right, let's go back to it. Oh, this is my channel. Let me just go to the charts here. If you're going to trade short term on hood, you got to watch this level. It's 42.80, 42.50 going to hold. Yeah, no problem. Of course. Always, any stock you guys mention, I'm going to try to check out for you guys. It's good for me. It's good for you. Helps us both out. And my whole goal is just for us to make money, to be honest. So let's see. Let's go over Chipotle. This is another stock that I genuinely enjoy going to once a week. So, but I do believe we have further downside. And let me just show you why. All right. You have to look at the historical trend here. $66. Where is the trend going, guys? The trend is going down. Very obvious, all right? It's showing it right here. So don't be biased and think just because you go to Chipotle once a week that this stock is going to hold up. It doesn't mean it will. Stocks can be irrational for a long time. They can sell off. It was consolidating from this range around $50 up to $60. Consolidating. We called this out, sold off all the way down to $50. We called it out. We made no money on it. Great execution on my part. I was just trading other stocks, most likely NVIDIA. If you're part of my WAP or you're part of my YouTube membership, you'll know that I'm always touting on semiconductor stocks. I like trading them because they move the most. So looking here, we had this rejection here at $50. It broke through this level. It retested up to the 51, sold back down. Now we're looking for the same exact pattern, but you just have to be cautious because it's already sold off plenty now. And Joshua, I like that $30 that you're waiting for. Yeah, that's right. The CEO left is a big problem too, right? Did he? Which company did he go to though? Yeah, Rob. Yeah, I would definitely be cautious with it. Yeah, Chipotle's definitely looking for this move back down. If it can break the 47, I think $30 might be a little low. Let's take a quick look and let's just see where the next support line would be. And what you need to, yeah, I think 44 would be more realistic because you got to look for the gap fill. The gap fill is going to be this zone. If this breaks, if we break $48 here, you are going to have this gap fill. I'm going to make this a different color. You're going to have this gap fill right here. It's going to just slide if it breaks 47, probably down to $45, $46. Look right here is your level, 43 to 44. That would be more realistic for a first retouch. Yeah, I thought he went to Starbucks too. That's wild. Yeah, sometimes CEO changes, people don't like it. There's a lot of uncertainty, and it causes people to sell. I can't really blame them on that. So definitely be cautious of this move. We are looking for a further pullback. In the short term, I'm going to look for the puts. I'm going to look for put options a little bit higher though. I want to see if I can get it around $49 to $50 and then look for that pushback down, maybe 3 month out expiration. What's your best buy and hold stock or ETF? Well, I can tell you for Jay Young, it's going to be SPLG, the S&P 500 fund, because that's what we started doing, part of the WAP. We created that investment plan. Help him get just to build a foundation, which I think everybody has to do. You got a lot of new investors that look at a YouTube channel. They'll look at this one, for example. This is mine, Trading Simplified. I'll show some gains where I'm posting massive gains. But, you know, at the end of the day, the YouTube portfolio is really where it's at. And you really want to have long-term growth. And FSPGX, that growth fund, is another one to check out. And if you're interested, definitely look at the WAP where you can directly chat with everybody on it, all right? But I'm just going to put this out there for you. SPLG ETF, FSPGX Growth Fund. All right, so now let's go over PLTR. PLTR is a stock that has been holding up very well, actually. So if you look at the 3 months, it had this nasty pullback from 125, but what it looks like it's like curling up back here. We're going to get that cup and handle potentially. Sometimes when you get a massive move like this, where it just only goes up to the moon, and now when you look at the 1 month, you can see right here that it is retesting this previous resistance level now. So now we just need to see, are we going to break above this level? Can we get PLTR? If you can hold this 92, I think it's safe to look for a move back up. I would definitely be cautious though. I'm just trying to bring the drawing mode in. Here it is. So let's hold this $92 level, 93, and then push back up to 100 is where I'd be looking for, right up to about here. All right, so definitely be cautious. Look for that move. It has to break above. If it doesn't, then you are just trading within this consolidation zone. Personally, I think it's probably going to fail, but it doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what the market is going to show you. So if we wake up and it's bullish and it already breaks past 92, now you're looking at that, cut your stop loss below 92 when you get an entry and go from there. Let's look at Starbucks. This is a stock that I hold long term. I like these guys. You know, there's so many times when you hold stocks long term that you tell yourself, I wish I would have sold. You know, I'm looking at the 5 year. I have shares around $86, $87. I'm not selling. But when I see that it gets pushed up on this long term chart up to 117, I'm not adding. I already know that this thing is going to sell off. This thing has been pulling back like this. And from 117, it's had a nasty rejection. Where am I looking to buy more? I'm going to keep looking to purchase more shares around 92. I like this area where we had some support. And now I just want to see short term though, are we going to reject at this $100 level? So if you're looking to play Starbucks, this is a very strong pullback, pulls back, consolidate up to $100. Look for that pullback down. That is what I'd be looking for with Starbucks in the short term. You don't want to be married to these stocks. If you're going to hold them because you like them, that's fine, no problem. But you have to be cautious and be realistic and look at the trend and let it show you where it wants you to go. Meta, this stock has done nothing but go up, and now it is finally getting some selling pressure, which I like. Big volume pressure right here. Looking at the 6-month chart, we are still, trading. We're almost out of this pattern right here of just trending down. Let's see if it can hold. I'm not against trading it, but your stop loss better be below this 574, because if you pull back past this 574, you are going to 550. That's a level that I've been waiting for, and I'm hoping that we can get that level so I can start accumulating some shares of Meta stock. If you're going to buy SCHD long term, I like it. You know what I mean? I would definitely SCHD is a dividend stock, gives good dividends. That's awesome. Somebody's got 1,000 shares of SCHD. Good for you, man. Definitely well deserved. And you get those dividends, which is nice. So that's just a buy and hold strategy right there. So definitely up for that. Let's take a look. AMD is another stock that I'm very interested in. It is finally holding this level. I've been very patient, haven't bought them. And looking at this here, you had this downtrend where it was rejecting, and now it is finally coming back. We are getting this push here. Can we hold the $100 level? I would just use the $100 level as your support, but this would be the break and retest. If you want to go exactly points, this is where your support was, right at this level at 106.50. Moving over here, 106.50. It is now deciding, is it going to hold here? So just be very cautious. If it breaks this 106.50, it's hovering right over there. I would definitely be looking at that level right there, all right? So be cautious, look for that level right there, all right? It's got to hold 106. If it doesn't, you're going to see more downside. Let's, what other stocks you guys want to review? Start bringing up some stocks for me. SoFi Technology, we've been trading within this range right here, $19 down to 10, and it's pulled back here. So as we are trending in this channel, as long as you can stay in this channel, you're okay to trade SoFi. But the second it starts breaking this, I'd definitely be cautious. Yeah, Meta is an interesting stock, and I just want to go back to Meta real quick, because there was a time where they changed the company name to Meta, and I don't know if it was just a reason to push the stock down, but this is why you got to be very careful when you trade these growth stocks. Let me just get rid of all this so you don't see. I believe this was the time where he started. Where was it? Here it is. Here it is. This is when they were changing the name from Facebook to Meta. And it can just get irrational real quick. I mean, 382 down to 87. I mean, that probably pulled out a lot of people. 76 pullback. So this is why I'm cautious with Meta, because I know that it can do things like this. It can pull back 76%. And this isn't even a long time. 2021 down 2022, you're holding it for a year. You just get crushed down 70%. Now, if you held it or added, congrats to you. You made a lot of money. In a perfect scenario, if I'm trading this long-term, 550, I'll start adding some shares. But that's always in the back of my head when I'm trading Meta, because as quickly as it can go up, as quickly as it can go down. Perfect case scenario would be back to this 380 level, 370. But it's just not realistic. You're going to have to set your alerts. We're going to need like Armageddon to happen or something, because it's trading at 590, 570. But my alerts are set for 550. I'll start dollar cost averaging in, but that doesn't mean I'm going all in. That just means I'm looking for that, pull back to 550, maybe 10, 20%. If it keeps pulling back, I'll start pyramiding into the position. That would make more sense in my eyes. Amazon, I forgot to review this guy. This is a stock. If it trades over 200, that's a trade for me. That's a go for a long-term position. I'm sorry, a short-term position, short-term trade. I want to see This is hovering just like QQQ is in the beginning of my live stream. You will see I went over QQQ, NVIDIA, Broadcom. They got to get above Microsoft. They got to get above their previous resistance points. So definitely refer back to that in the video. And they got to push back up. But we need the QQQ to be strong for this to happen. I'm waiting to see, are we going to get that move like that? That's what we need. So it really needs to get to that point where Amazon can get above 200, prove that it's bullish, and go from there. Yeah, I mean, Facebook, that's a money machine. Think about Facebook, think about Instagram. They just make so much money with the advertisements and everything else. I mean, it's a company's a money making machine. If you actually look at their cash flow, they make so much money. It's ridiculous. LMT. Let's go over LMT and Boeing. For those of you who are not sure, that haven't heard about this, Boeing and LMT, Boeing got some kind of, I think, fighter jet contract, and that caused LMT just to sell off. That's what's so crazy about holding individual stocks, is you wake up one day, like I'll show you Nike. I have them in my portfolio. I'll show you that murder scene in a second. So 480 down to 430, down 10% in one day. Just sold off like that, which is crazy. So be cautious. LMT is potential. It's going to consolidate here probably. Or are we going to get that push back up maybe to 450 and then reject? I think if you're going to trade LMT, I actually really like that idea of trading the previous support levels. That clearly was not anything. I bet you there were people that bought at 450 thinking that, hey, we had consolidation here, support. We retested right here around 450. And then they saw this support here at 450, and they saw this sell-off coming, and they bought at 450 and go, God damn it, it just sold all the way down. It just sold all the way down to 436, made lower lows to 432, and then got smoked. So if I'm looking for a short-term trade on this, this is what I'm looking at right here, looking for this move back up to 450, consolidation, and then boom, sell-off. That's what I'd be looking for at LMT. You have the break. Let's get the retest. Let's be patient. Let's set the alerts for this and go from there. Home Depot. I just want to show you this stock. I'm accumulating shares of them long term. I like them in my portfolio as like a defense stock, but it looks pretty weak. I'm not going to lie. I'm wondering if Home Depot, really the level where I should be loading more of a percentage in, will be around this 320 to 325. And just looking at it in the most recent, it is trending in this channel right now, but it's not like a very strong channel. It looks like it's going to break, and we're going to start headed lower. So I definitely be cautious with this. And if we do get that move down, I think we can look for that move back down to about 335, even a little bit lower. All right. Absolutely. Let's see. Let me just change this real quick. What index funds, ETFs do you guys hold? I'm definitely just I just like to see what other people holding. Subscribers in the chat. If you're a subscriber, you can chat. Definitely please send a message. Let me know what you're holding. I'm definitely interested in that. And then let's move forward. Let's take a FXAIX. I like that. That's another S&P 500 index fund. I made a video on that. That's definitely, I would believe people enjoy that one as well. And then let's see what else we got here. I just want to see if there's any other stocks that are worth noting. HIMS and Nike I want to go over. HIMS is retesting this zone here. It got popped to 72. Then they had their news about, what was their news about? It was, with the GLP drugs. And now we can see here, it's consolidating. It's got to get above this $35 range. If we can get above it, we can look for a move back high. Back up to $40. We just got to be cautious when it comes down to that. All right, Nike, I just want to show you. There's another position I'm holding. Don't you love when you're holding the stock? You wake up, you forget it's their earnings, and it just dies. So Nike literally goes from $77 that top dies down 15%. I was like, very nice, Nike, very nice. But does that mean that I'm going to sell them out of my position? No. I like Nike long term. And honestly, I like this position here. You are getting this zone at $60 flat is really what I'm looking for. I'm going to continue buying these guys long term. And if you're a member of the portfolio, of the member of the YouTube channel, you will see if this stock does really well or not, because I'm going to continue holding them. I believe in Nike long term. I think they have a great product, and I'll continue to buy them. FSTA. Oh, nice. So you buy the consumer staple. Yeah, that's a good idea too. I like that. All right, guys. Let's see. Anything else you guys want me to review before we go? Definitely, please be sure to check out the Trading Simplified channel, the playlists, the posts, the memberships, and definitely be sure to just check out the links. Just want to make sure at least people that are watching are aware of this. You have the WAP that you can join me on. You can become a member on YouTube. You have the Twitter. You have the Gemini Referral Club. You can check me out on X as well. This is Twitter we have. All right, you can check me out over here if you just want to see just things I'm posting. I try to post daily on this just to get back to you guys, different things I'm watching. And always be sure to please check out the chat on WAP where you get to directly chat with me. And if you're interested in that, just click on the link above and you get access through this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I got members on the WAP. Just message me if there's anything you have anything you want to discuss or anything. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time. I'm just going to see. I know there was a way to show your support. There we go. Super chat. Interesting. I wanted to see if there's a way to do memberships on this thing. I just want to see if there is a way. Engage with your audience. Oh, what happened there? Moderation. Trying to see if there's a way to give out a free membership, but I don't know how they do that, to be honest. Just trying to take a look at the settings. Let me see here. Pop out chat.